talk to people and they're anti, let's say the UK right now, where they're locking down everybody for telling the truth about the immigration. And they understand that the native people of the UK want to keep their country British and they want to protect it. And they completely understand that. But then they're against Gaza. And I'm like, to me, you either believe in people's ancestral right to their homeland and to defend it, or you don't. But people seem to always have this hypocrisy on certain issues. It's very interesting.
Well, that's psychology, too. And I spoke of that on my show. And obviously, I've earned the full ire of the mainstream media. And I don't care, because for me, and that offer was there. I mean, it was very clear to me that this is the one issue. If you don't talk about, well, you can maintain a comfortable life for you and your kids. But I just didn't like how many times I kept finding in the history of Israel and in the president of Israel defense for pedophiles. It just didn't work for me. Like, that Zionists were so hardcore about Israel, were defending pedophilia, and I pressed an accidental button when I started speaking about Sigmund Freud. The Freud family is what created propaganda. Edward Bernays, the Freud family is what created PR, the biggest PR firms in the world. And they just keep coming up with pedophilia scandals. Clement Freud, pedophile. Sigmund Freud, pedophile. His father, a pedophile. Defending his friend, William Fleece, a pedophile. And when you can then trace that, and it's funny you talk about the streets, these were people that were weapons dealers and drug dealers that then started Hollywood, right? They started Hollywood. Charlie Chaplin, a pedophile, who was under one of their thumbs. And you start realizing when you speak to people in Hollywood and they start speaking about the fact that there's so much pedophilia that's always taken place throughout Hollywood from the 20s, which you could say was the golden age that really Hollywood got established, all the way through to now, the ADL got started defending a pedophile. So to me, if this state is going to be on the side of pedophilia, and for whatever reason people keep turning the other cheek, that everyone who supports this state seems to be okay with the pedophile origins, the ADL is now involved in our government. We know that a lot of these people in our government are being blackmailed. I wonder why. I personally, you want to hear my conspiracy theories, I think pornography websites are basically, they're able to figure out what your demented interests are. So these people, they're making you more and more perverse, more and more perverse. Suddenly you're watching some weird stuff, and then they got you watching some 12-year-old girl, whatever it is. Boom, you're under their control. And I think this is what Jeffrey Epstein, all of this stuff is about, getting men who would be in positions of power to acquiesce to some pedophilic pornography, and then they're under their control. I really believe that.
I think you're right. And there's two things I'm going to say. First, I'm going to say they've checked my hard drives. And I love to say that to everybody who says, Andrew, you're a trafficker. They've literally checked my hard drives. For the last 4 years, my hard drives have been checked. Check the hard drives of 99% of people in the mainstream. Go check their hard drives. Here we are, 4 years into this human trafficking garbage.